It's the world's most consumed spirit. No, it's not vodka or whiskey, but Baijiu. It's China's national spirit, drunk ganbei or neat at state ceremonies and weddings. The country produces up to 17 billion litres of Baijiu each year, but only about 1% of that is exported, and it's scarce in Europe. However, it's now finding a home in London's bars as a cocktail ingredient. So what is Baijiu? The word Baijiu translates into English as white alcohol. It's a clear spirit made from fermented grains, most often sorghum, which are traditionally trampled by barefoot workers. It's steamed and mixed with water and a special fermentation agent called chu and then distilled. The Baijiu is then aged in underground pits or buried in clay jars for between a month and 30 years. Like other spirits, the older it is, the more expensive it is, and prices can range from a couple of dollars to tens of thousands. Chu is very sensitive to the environment in which it is produced, making the taste of each region's Baijiu distinct. Baijiu is not a single beverage. It's a family of drinks which are split into 4 main categories: sauce, strong, light and rice, and it usually has an alcohol content exceeding 50%, which is more than standard vodka or whiskey. The ritual of drinking Baijiu is an important part of building guanxi, or relationships at business dinners in China. While bars may have woken up to Baijiu, it's still absent from the shelves of most European supermarkets, and generally only expensive bottles can be found at a handful of high-end stores such as Harrods in London. So will Baijiu follow in the steps of vodka and tequila, making the transition from national tipple to global go-to?
To be honest, when I first heard people asking for Baijiu, I was thinking, what is that? And I looked into it, and to find a spirit that has something like 20 billion bottles sold every year, and we didn't know about it, was just a complete revelation. And I fully foresee having a Baijiu-based bar with 20, 30 different Baijiu. It's coming.
We have been selling Baijiu for 40 years, over 40 years. It's extremely popular, obviously, in the Chinese community. But I launched Baijiu Cocktail Week a few years ago to give it some more mainstream appeal and awareness. And so we've had more and more Westerners in the last 5 years come in to buy.
While it's definitely an acquired taste, with Western and Chinese drinks giants looking to grow Baijiu's presence in Europe, it could be one we encounter more frequently. Ganbei.